Hi there, my name's Martin Stone from Switch On Health, and I'm very excited today to be joined by our latest graduate in Western Herbal Medicine, Deb Samwell from South Australia. Deb, hello and congratulations.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks. Nice to be here with you.
You too, you too. How does it feel?
Oh, it's incredible. It's just so exciting to finally finish up. I think you sort of get to a point in the middle where you think, am I ever going to be done? Am I ever going to finish? And then you suddenly do, and it's really exciting.
Excellent. Yeah, look, I remember in my studies, I was at that halfway mark and I felt like I was, like swimming across the English Channel. It felt like, well, I can't turn around and go back now, you know?
Yes, yeah, I know what it feels like, and I think for me, it's been yeah, it's something I've wanted so badly, and I've really wanted to get there in the end. And I think it took me a little bit longer, but I got there.
Yeah, well, good on you. Good on you. So yeah, look, on that note, I guess, tell us a little bit about, why did you want to become a herbalist and what led you to switch on health?
Okay, so I never expected that I would become a herbalist. As a child, I would have said I wanted to be a doctor or a nurse. They were the two things, or a florist or work in a nursery. So I guess in a way, I've combined all of that in my journey and where I've ended up. So I did do nursing. I did work in a nursery, and I have a farming background, and I did do nursing. And it didn't take me long to realize that that was not the path that I wanted to go down. And I had previously done a flower essence course and a Reiki course. So I was very interested in the alternative medicine. I knew that's sort of the direction I wanted to head. And then I was just looking online and finding courses that would work for me. And I just stumbled across Switch on Health back in 2019. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey. I originally started off doing naturopathy. And by the second year, I just knew that I just wanted to combine my love of plants and herbal medicine. And yeah, that's a journey that I probably never could have seen for myself, but I love how it's ended up.
Awesome, awesome. How did you find the journey with Switch on Health on the whole?
Amazing. I think this is my favourite place that I've ever studied, and I've studied at numerous universities and done numerous courses, and it has been incredible. I think you have your support system is amazing. Everyone's been super supportive, and I've never felt like I couldn't ring or ask for help. And I think I'm a mum, and I live an hour and a half away from Adelaide City. So it's not easy for me. It was never easy for me to get to uni. So I love that I've had the ability to study from home, and that have that flexibility. I can take my kids to school. I can be there when they come home, and I study when it suits me. And as a mum, that's amazing. And we also travelled for the first year that I was studying. I studied in our caravan travelling around Australia. So having that flexibility to study in my time has been one of the things that I've also just loved.
Awesome. I love that feedback, Deb. And it's funny because I do actually remember when you very first inquired with us, and you really actually fit the demographic of, the clients that, it's people like you are the reason we set up this college in the first place, really, because we thought, well, there are a lot of people out there who can't go to uni, you've got kids, you've got other commitments, you don't live in the inner city, you can't attend campus 3 times a week
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. And yeah, I remember when you inquired, I was like, yes, this is the kind of person, we're the reason we're doing this. And so, yeah, to see you come to the end of this journey, yeah, it's what we're here for.
Oh, yeah. And I think there would be as a mum who wants to be there at home, and we also own a farm. So during harvest season, I literally have to be around. So to have that opportunity to be able to study at this time in my life, I never thought that it would be able to happen. So I feel really blessed that I've been able to find you guys and get to the end, do it, get through it.
Good. Excellent. Now, I remember when it came to your final practical assessment, I know you expressed a little bit of, a bit of anxiety, a bit of apprehension, like, the nerves, I'm going to have to perform on the spot kind of thing. Can you tell us a little bit about how that all went?
I've never been a great public speaker, and I don't like sort of being out there. But I think it's something you have to learn as a practitioner. You have to learn to speak to people and put yourself out there, I guess. I was really nervous about the consulting part because I didn't think that I actually wanted to consult as I went along. I was really nervous about that part, and probably a little bit of imposter syndrome, thinking, do I know enough? Have I done enough? Am I good enough to do this? I actually loved my experience of doing that last exam, I guess it is, or assessment. And for sure, I was nervous, but I loved it. And I discovered in doing that how much I actually do love consulting. Probably more for the research side. I love investigating and researching, and I found that's actually the part that I love the most. I get a lot of joy out of doing all the investigative work and the research, and I think I've grown into it.
Awesome. Yeah, sometimes it is like a little detective trail with our patients, like what's going on, what do we need to address, where is this coming from? But look, I'm with you. I remember enjoying that as well when I was studying. I want to ask about the clinic experience as well, because I know that, we do get people, either they're thinking about enrolling or they are enrolled. And, I guess a fairly common concern is, how do I get this practical component of the course done? Tell us a little bit about what that clinic experience was like for you.
So my best advice for anyone who's looking to find somewhere for placement is get involved in looking at different things. I did a little course in the middle of my study with Sally Kingsford Smith. There was a traditional herbal medicine, Dorothy Hall. It was just a 6 weeks course, and through that she put us onto this herbal magazine, and I found Sian, my clinical mentor, in the back of that magazine. And she lived an hour and a bit away from me, but I rang her and she was very keen for me to come along and see what she did. And through that, I found my mentor, and I did my placement with her over the last year and a half. And so my advice is get in the industry and start talking to people and find people who have the same interests as you and the same passion as you. And it does open doors. It's opened a huge door for me because, I did all my mentorship with Sian and all my consultations with her. And I also worked with her in her business over the last 18 months. And she has just been an absolute wealth of knowledge and just the practical side of actually being in it and seeing what she does. And I've learned so much from her. And also met other students who are seeing her as well. And you just create this little bubble of herbal medicine and all the people that love herbs as well.
Love it. And you got an opportunity as a result of that clinic experience, didn't you? Did you want to talk about that?
I sure did. So I've worked with Sian for the 18 months in her business, and I have loved every minute of it. She does a lot of herbal manufacturing and just has this incredible knowledge that she's shared so much with me. And I just made a passing comment at the beginning of the year and said to her, look, if you ever were interested in selling your business, I love what you do, and this is exactly what I would love to do. And she pulled me aside in May and said, Deb, are you serious about what you said? I would like to retire. Do you want to buy my business? And so I am now the proud owner of Byron Botanicals. So I'm super excited to see where that takes me and to put my touch on top of Sian's passion and see what I can do with that.
I love it. We start these journeys and we don't know exactly what the future is going to hold, but yeah, I love that story.
Yeah, I'm just beyond excited at where I've ended up and what I'm doing now. So we have our property here on the Flurio. We're growing medicinal herbs now. We have a farming background. We've built a studio for Byron Botanicals, and I also have a clinic space in there. So it's all just come together in this really nice way that I could never have pictured when I first rang you that first day and inquired.
Love it. Love it. So plans for the future, growing herbs, making herbal products, consulting.
All of those combined together. So I obviously love being outdoors. I love my garden and my plants, and I'm really excited. I'm currently rebranding Byron Botanicals and working with some wholesalers on the East Coast who were previous clients of Sian's. And I also have my own clinic. So I've begun consulting in my own clinic space, which I really love as well.
Awesome. And you had, was it first client today? Is that what you said?
I did. I had my ATMS registration came through on Monday. Which is very exciting. And I had my first official client. So obviously from doing my consults with Sian under her mentorship, a lot of those clients were people that I met that were kind of around my town. So they've come with me now that I'm not with Sian. And I'll begin seeing them here in my clinic. So, yeah, that's been really exciting.
Awesome. Love it. Any closing words, Deb? If somebody is going through their studies and they're finding it hard, or if somebody's thinking about studying and they're not quite sure, what would you say?
Well, that was me at the beginning. If you remember, I had so many questions and I was really unsure. Should I do this? Should I sign up? And I think my advice would be 100% start something. If you have an interest in any sort of, naturopathy, all the things you offer, homeopathy, herbal medicine, nutrition, if you think you have an interest in it, just start, because you don't know where your journey will take you and you don't know what doors you will open. And you learn so much by starting something. I mean, I started up in naturopathy. I never would have thought that in the end I would be a herbalist. And I think you've just got to start, and things happen if you trust your journey and you just go with your heart and do something. Because I remember someone said to me when I was thinking, should I study? Are my kids still too little? What am I going to do? Someone said to me, time's going to pass, whatever you do. So do something and you'll figure it out. And I think it's having that trust that your journey will figure itself out and you'll learn so much about yourself and what you love, and you can change direction if you find that nothing has to stay the same. And when you come out the other end and you look at what you've done and achieved, it's just incredible. And I just think this is just such a wonderful way to study, to have the flexibility, to have the really good support systems. You've got your Facebook group. I love that. I'm always on there. I love seeing, yes, we don't see each other face to face in the classroom, but we have a space where we can get together and you do get to know people in a different way, but you still have this group of people who all love what you love and who are all doing what you're doing. And it's a great support.
Yeah. Wow, I think you've nailed it, Deb. Very wise words. Follow your heart, trust your gut, stay flexible. We don't have to be attached to any particular outcome, and the universe finds a way of pointing us in the right direction, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Well, look, Deb, thanks for making the time to come in today and do this little video. We really appreciate it. I know that this really does help to motivate people and keep them going through their studies. And look, we're really looking forward to seeing what's next on your journey. It sounds amazing. The making of the herbs and the herbal products, the growing of the herbs. I'm sure we're going to be in touch again. You're still part of that Switch On Health community. And yeah, look, we've loved having you as a student. We now love having you as, I guess, one of our peers.
Oh, thank you, Martin. Yes, it's been incredible. I'll miss being a student, but I'm thrilled to have gotten through it and gotten to the end. And it's just a massive achievement. And I think if anyone else could feel this feeling, do it, because you feel this feeling at the end of how proud you are of yourself, of what you've achieved. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Deb. And we'll be chatting again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you.